Field length marker.
So 86 is a story about 6 separate characters whose paths intersect during the 86 minutes in Los Angeles leading up to this very violent event.
Today we are shooting the opening scene of the movie. We have our main character. We start on his feet. That's the opening shot of the film. About a minute walk from here. He walks down the street. He gets in here into the diner. And then we switch to the other 3 characters that are having a conversation. This is the 3 pages scene. And that's where our first cut is.
Cut.
There were some shots that really did kind of necessitate having a camera that could be on one rig and then move into another rig in the same shot. And there's not a lot of systems that can do that.
We looked at the 4D as a great stabilization tool. We ended up not using it stabilized very often. We had to add extra motors, and the 4D is really only built to take the one focus motor. So we had just kind of pushed this thing past where it really wanted to really stay stabilized within.
When I first met Reed, he right away said, why don't you use Ronin 4D? DJI became the main camera.
So we realized pretty early on that just the basic build of the 4D was just not going to be quite enough for us to achieve some of the shots that we wanted to achieve. Our camera team got together with our first camera assistant, Roger Spain. We went into Keslow and talked to Michael Kramer, who's the head of their R&D department, and basically laid the problem out for them and said, we need to take this camera and we need to modify it to be able to add a couple extra motors, maybe some extra back weight to compensate on the gimbal side of things, and it still needs to be in this form factor. Within the hour, they came back with this 3D printed plate that had just everything we needed. We kind of looked at it and go like, oh wow, okay, this camera is going to work.
When we initially prepped, we were worried about the weight of the 3 motors and the 80mm Laowa, just because that is a pretty heavy and large size lens, but we did it. I mean, the lens changing process was very simple. The E-mount, helped us out a lot and opened up a whole new realm of lenses that we were actually able to utilize. And I'm able to be 100 yards away from the camera, still have complete control of everything that I need to right there at my fingertips.
The Ronin 4D helped us accomplish what we wanted to for the look and the feel and not just the composition, but also the performances.
That's a kind of a movie where you have the new developments every day. You discover it on the go and kind of love it very much.
So we ended up using the 4D Flex a lot more than even I think we were going to from the beginning. There was just a lot of spaces that we needed to get to in this film that just even a full 4D was just not going to allow us to. To be able to just kind of take this small little camera and just kind of move it into these other spaces that you don't have this length or this height you got to worry about. That adds a freedom, I think, to the operating that really allows you to kind of get into spaces with actors and on these kind of close, wide shots that we tended to find we liked a lot.
And the Ronin, in many ways, it gave us the adaptability and the flexibility to be able to get in and out of these scenes that allowed the actors to not realize the camera was there.
So we're going to start upside down.
The one shot that comes to my mind when I'm thinking about how this camera really helped us achieve these shots was we did a few different car rigs. One of these shots was as we were coming into our hospital scene. We start in a car mount, we're coming out of this big dialogue scene between 2 of our main actors. So the way we set this up was we had a hood mount on the car. We put the 4D in its full glory on the hood of this car with this magnet mount, and the car pulls into the shot. I'm operating off of the wheels, but right as they're about to get out of the car, I get up from the wheels. I step over to the front of the car with the camera, which is maybe a few feet from me. I'm just in the parking space ahead of them. And in the time it takes one of them to just end their dialogue and get out of the car, I've gone from the wheels, grabbed the camera, released the magnet, and now we're moving into a handheld mobile gimbal shot that's tracking these 2 actors into some dialogue, and then we actually go from there into a full scene. So to be able to go from a car mount that's stabilized, it's kind of got this beautiful, it feels like this nice, smooth, professional shot, and then to move into this mobile action and into this kind of stable 2 shot, I don't see how we could have really done a shot like that without a tool that has this built-in stabilization.
Now all of a sudden you can create these new shots with a flex mode or with this camera that haven't been done before, and now it's stable as well. And that's just something that no other camera manufacturer has right now.